Before we get started, I want to tell you about my live dates, guys. Missing me perform won't change your life at all. But it's a good night out. Listen, you're going to go see some other kid who you saw on TikTok who did a crowd work for a minute. He's going to disappoint you. I am a pro. I will do an hour and get you riveted, baby. So come see me where all my fans are, Jordan Landing, Utah, August 4th and 5th. I'm huge with the Mormon community. In fact, I want to check out some of the amenities. Talk to me. How many wives can I have? Is that still available? Is there a pool? Do you have a sauna? Tell me about the amenities and I will join. Then only a handful of tickets literally left for Long Island, the Paramount Theater, August 17th. It's so nice to be selling out venues in New York for 12 years. It's been 12 years I've been selling out venues in New York. Thank you to all of you scumbags in Long Island who are coming to that show. Plano, Texas, which is Dallas, August 24th through the 26th. Come hang out with me for my birthday. Springfield, Missouri, September 7th through 9th. Calgary, Alberta, September 22nd, 23rd. Thank God I'm not going there in the winter. Fort Wayne, Indiana, September 20th and 30th. The Vogel Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey, that will sell out. Get your tickets now, October 14th. Cobb's in San Francisco, October 27th and 28th. Sony Hall, New York City Homecoming. We're going to bang that one out November 4th. Providence, November 10th and 11th. Phoenix, November 16th and 17th. Spokane, Washington, December 1st and 2nd. Tulsa, December 8th and 9th. Louisville, December 15th and 16th. And the Royal Theater in Toronto, March 23rd. Now, let's get into this episode. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new, all-new Yannis Pappas Hour. This week, we know that Twitter is no longer called Twitter. It's called X. So it's officially part of the deep, dark web. X, like executioner, like Malcolm X. It's basically done the WWE switch from good guy to bad guy, and I love it. It was good Elon, and now there's NWO Elon. And his new company's X. He's no longer Hulk Hogan, he's Hollywood Hogan. Mitch McConnell's dying. He's going to be dead. He might be dead right now. It could be Weekend at Mitch's, which is, where is he from? South Carolina or whatever? The Catholic Church in Syracuse has to pay $100 million to children because of what they did to children. And it wasn't reading the Bible to them. I haven't seen whatever movie Mel Gibson's a part of or whatever, but I'm sure those are also bad. It's all bad, but I just don't remember the same outrage about the continual and perpetual abuses of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese all over the world. Ice Cube did an interview with Tucker Carlson. Talk about two people who I thought would never be in the same room together. We got a lot to talk about. Also, UFOs are definitely real. We have bodies. We have ships. It's pretty wild. Unless this is some crazy psyops, who knows? Maybe it's a psyops like COVID, like Newtown, like movies, like Beverly Hills Cop, like the Gulf of Tonkin. It's all one big psyops. We're living in a psyops. The intelligentsia 1% international banking elite want to lower the population so they can ride on their horses and enjoy their ponies and eat spaghetti French style. This is the Yannis Pappas Hour, where news meets deliriousness.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the David Long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a great kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras, to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
We don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we're going back to this format. I don't even know what Jesse's throwing behind me. It could be a big dildo going into my mouth. I have no idea because we're recording it now. That's the green screen. You don't know it's a green screen. You think it's a cool Matrix-like news situation. I was so dumb when I was a kid. I had no idea that wasn't behind the guy. You know? I just found a tiny piece of glass. Jesse's trying to kill me. I'm going to put this in our old sponsor, Bespoke Post.
Good idea.
So whoever puts their hand in there, for a cigar, we'll get a little surprise. Why is there glass up here?
I was going to put it in your spaghetti.
Put it in my spaghetti made by the French. I don't know what that means. So I don't know what's back there right now. And who cares? You tune in for the Yannis Pappas Hour. We're going solo. We're downsizing. We had to. I didn't unload Jared, but we're downsizing, and we're all under the gun here, including myself. I could fire myself at any moment. So we need you to go to patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour and support the show. Because at this point right now, we're strictly a subscriber show. We're strictly a subscriber show. We got no sponsors, which, this could be a good opportunity to just subscribe to the show, $5 a month. You do get a bonus episode every week, which is amazing. People who are on there know that some of the best episodes are there, but also you support the show. I know a lot of you don't even watch the fucking bonus episode. You just got $5 to spare. God, I never knew my career would be selling Amway, and that Amway would be me. Tell a friend. Have them tell people. I have a perfect opportunity for you. So join up. We really need you to join up if you love this show. And it's a great opportunity. Maybe we can just make it the all subscriber show. That also happens to be a small boutique. And I'll keep it boutique until Walmart wants to buy me out, and I will do that. That's what everybody does. They want to go boutique until they get that offer, that big corporate offer. I just looks them straight in the face like a sexy chick, and they just go, yeah, I'll take a lick. I'll take a lick because without that money, I'll be in big trub. Nobody likes to be in trub. Except for Elon Musk. He likes trub. I think when you become a billionaire, you got so much money. I always try to look at things now through like human psychology. Like what makes people tick? What makes Elon Musk tick? Mucks. I like to call him Mucks. Elon Musk ticked. I mean, he's banging up different broads. He's got a lot of kids with a bunch of different women, right? That's kind of cult leader-esque. He's got like 12 kids with different, maybe he's adopted a few, probably not. I think his loins have bred all of them. So he's doing that. He's probably banging whoever he wants, on top of that. He can buy whatever he wants. He's the world's richest guy. He made the coolest companies. Tesla's the coolest car. I drive it. I love it. I'll never go back until another car creates an electric car that's better. Because these hoes ain't loyal, Elon. You'll learn. These hoes ain't loyal, dog. I know you think you got this whole, batch of support from free speech people. They catch you say one liberal thing, they're throwing you right on the couch. These hoes ain't loyal. What happened? Zuckerberg came along and created Threads. Everyone just went over there. Even people who love Elon Musk, I saw they created accounts as well. So nobody's like your family, I saw some of the like real staunch Elon Musk supporters. I'll just see their account on Threads. I'm like, they didn't have to, but everyone hedges their bets. There's no loyalty to your Elon Musk. I'm just going to, in honor of, and by the way, Jared will be on again. I love Jared. He'll also be with me on the road on a lot of those dates, and I'll have him back on. Jared's one of the funniest young comics in the game. He's 25 years old, and he'll be on whenever. Whenever I'm in the mood, I'll be like, yo, Jared, come down. We'll do an app. So you'll be seeing Jared all the time. But we're also going back to the news. We may go over there. Who cares? We're not growing, so it doesn't matter. Strategy doesn't matter. I'm just going to try to make this as unique and fun for the people who are into it, because I just don't care about growing it, because it's not my forte. I'm not a marketer. I just need a strong boutique show with everyone paying for it. That's what I need. That's actually the dream, to be honest with you. If I could get 5,000 of you, right now we're at 1,000. If I get 4,000 more of you to just subscribe for $5 a month to get the bonus episode and support the show, we're golden. I will go off the rails. I will do this show from a mental institution. I will do it from inside of a woman's vagina. The nectar. I want the nectar. So he's gone dark, dude. He's going X. He's changed it to X. It's gone from Twitter to X. So I think what I'm saying, I think his personality, Elon Musk, is like, I think he doesn't care what people say. And I think right now that you get a little bit of a rush. Isn't everyone just trying to get a little bit of a rush with what they do? Everyone wants a dopamine hit, right? That's why the internet's got everybody, yelling about conspiracies and all this stuff is because it's a dopamine hit, right? And they get a couple followers, they get a couple likes, you get a dopamine hit. These companies did all the research. They know what they're doing. It's a drug. It's a drug. Porn is, these things become drugs because they give you dopamine hits, right? That's why you got to hug your dog because you get a dopamine. Do you know both you and your dog get high off of hugging each other? Hugs get you high. I want to do hugs I want to do get high with hugs. There should be hugs. How come they're not mom hookers?
What?
How come they're not mom hookers? Like, how come business people aren't out there fulfilling the voids in the marketplace and I got to do all the work, right? Think about it. You know, there's hookers, right? Which should be legal, by the way. It should be legal, you know, and taxed. That's a different story. But why aren't there mom hookers? You know, so it's like you have mommy issues and you want someone to stroke your head and say, I love you, and for you to call them mommy and suck your thumb. Why not? Hey, I'm a mom hooker. Come over. I'll be your mom for an hour. I'll clean your underwear, clean your shoes. You can suck your thumb and sit on my lap, whatever your issue may be.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm sure that's available.
You had a narcissistic mom. Guess what? Well, you come over here. I'll soothe you as an empath. I'll be an empath for an hour. So long as you put the 100 on the kitchen table. I'll be your mama. We're checking to see if it's there. I know there's probably like a subgenre of hookerism, of prostitution that is that, I guess. But I'm talking about like more mainstream. Why is it more of like it should be advertised?
Right.
The government, I'm saying like the government provides money to scientists who are doing research and stuff, which by the way, I support for the most part, because otherwise where are these scientists going to get their money? You know, they're not part of the marketplace. So it's like and you're not going to ask tax. You're going to go, hey, taxpayers, do you mind if we give you $14 billion to go to the moon? They're going to go no. So I get it. Sometimes you got to go, hey, we're doing this for your own good. Yeah, we're stealing your money. It's not that clean, you know, because I want to know what's going on the moon. I want to know what's going on in space. I just don't want to know that I'm paying for it. So I get it. I used to think a transparent tax system is the best, but then you can't put that up for democracy because people don't know what's good for them. You know, they'll be like, hey, do you want to build this thing for the research? And they're going, nah, you know what I'll say? And then you're going, oh, God, you're going to be a burden on the tax system later if you don't do this. It's complicated.
Yeah, but you don't want to pay $800 for a hammer either.
I do. For a hammer?
Yeah, you ever see those bills like that the government pays? You know, they pay like $400 for like a toilet seat or something.
I want them to use the best hammer and the best toilets. No, yeah, there's obviously a lot of corruption as well. Yeah, so, there's no solutions here. And it's not about trade-offs. It's just there's only comedy. There's no solutions. I want to change what Thomas Sowell said and go, there's no solutions, only comedy, right? I get in trouble when I start caring too much. I'm at my funniest when I don't care. When I want you all to go to hell in a handbasket. I need to put up boundaries. I need to close off my empath nature and just treat you like the rest of the comics treat you, like consumers, like numbers and demographics. I love talking to some of my friends and have them sound like departments of corporations now. What department would that be? The digital department?
What do you mean?
Who runs demographics and stuff, marketing.
Yeah.
I love talking to my friends now, and I'm like, am I on the phone with the Gap? Am I on the phone with the Gap? They just start talking about algorithms and numbers and how to engage and who their demographic is and what markets they're doing strong in. I'm like, when did comedy, which is an art form that used to be done in the basement, that was kind of precious, and people would go like, you go on a lineup with, to be honest, half these guys that are, selling out, good for them. But if you saw them live, they stink. And I'm just saying they're ordinary. They're not great, and that's fine. I hate when I hear like comics shitting on them though, because it's like, dude, just go fucking do what they do. Go put your fucking clips up, Stop. I don't know if that person would be able to do good with me on a lineup or at this certain club. Nobody cares about clubs anymore. This isn't 2011. So you can't get your confidence or self-esteem with the fact you're passed at a fucking club. You fucking loser. You know who else is passed at that club? The waiter and waitress that serves food there. Just fucking get on the internet and make your videos and become a master marketer like the Gap hires. So now I'm getting on both sides and making fun of everybody, which is what I want to do. What were we talking about?
You were talking about renting a mom.
Oh, renting a mom, yeah. Yeah. It should be taxed by the government, and it should be paid for just like scientific research is paid for. It should be United States, like USDA approved. It should be USA approved mom. Then you get rid of the psychos, because some people have narcissistic moms. And what happens is those people turn into like cold-blooded people. Some people have psychopaths for parents. And they get all messed up. They get manipulated. They have issues. So instead of just therapy and instead of just psychiatrists and medication, there should also be people who recreate those roles as therapy, right? You go to a therapist, your therapist isn't going to crawl in my lap and suck on your thumb, and I'll call you Danny, and you can call me mommy. And if you want, I'll put your tit in my mouth, and we can go back to that initial trauma where your mom didn't breastfeed you. We can do that too, or I'll make you apple juice. Yeah,
it's all on the table.
I'll give you the warm memories you didn't have. When your mother just handed you 50 cents or $1 and said, go fend for yourself when you were 7, and all your friends had a cool lunchbox with Transformers on it, and a sandwich, PB&J, a nice little cheese string. And you opened up your fucking day, and all you could do is go get a hot dog or a slice of Coke. And all your friends thought you were cool, but really cool meant your parents didn't care about you. Because that was really the definition of cool for a long time. I think probably since what was that Rebel movie with James Dean? Probably since then. The 60s, like the cool kid was the one who came from a fucked up home.
Yeah.
He wore a leather jacket, he smoked a cigarette, and he's the one who got a slice and a Coke for lunch. And you're like, why is he so cool? How come my parents aren't cool like that? No, his parents aren't cool. His parents didn't care about him. They didn't make lunch for him. The good mom is the one fucking putting the goddamn alfalfa sprouts on your organic turkey on wheat bread. Not the one going, here, have a fountain soda. Those kids usually smelled. So their parents didn't bathe them either.
Yeah.
And they usually developed a tick. Like, it's funny how we're so sensitive and how we block things out and like we're emotional and then we develop ticks. Some people just get ticks.
Because they're keeping it in.
Some people get OCD. They start counting stuff to soothe themselves. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6. 2 chairs, 2 lamps, 2 lamps. And you go, what are you counting? It makes me not think about some other stuff that I can't understand. I was too small to deal with at the time. So there's 2 cameras over here, 2 seats. That's perfect. 2 people. Okay, this place is safe. There's 2 people, 2 cameras. If you think about it, OCD is real funny, right? Because it's all irrational because it's about something else that you couldn't handle at the time. So a person walks in here and they go, in order to not deal with the fact that their father was actively loving them conditionally and using them to get back at the mom or whatever happened or whatever crime, if you have to sit in the back of a car while your mom bought crack in 1987, in order for you to not deal with how unsafe that made you feel, you have to now, as a semi-adult, walk into a room or probably teenager and go, 2 cameras, 2 dudes, 2 chairs. This place is safe. And it doesn't make any sense, but it's some sort of self-soothing. Humans are funny in that way. And that's why I think it would be nice for the government to sponsor some of that stuff. Some new age, out-of-the-box therapeutics that I'm talking about here. Metaverse, go into metaverse and do an AI of your mom, make her nice. Recreate, You got maimed in a war, recreate the war, except you don't get maimed and you can walk. And you're banging all the Korean prostitutes you want. Let's start thinking about healing and operating on higher chakras. I don't operate on lower chakras anymore. I'm a high chakra.
You're elevated.
Dog, I'm Indian. I'm starting a cult. A lot of these white people fall for the wise Indian guy who booty boos it. When you roll around in a fucking bath sheet and you booty boo it and you sit Indian style. I'm sorry, native way. You sit native way. You can get a lot of these like city whites who are lost to just like, and all you have to say is like, and then of course you bang them and their husbands are okay with it. I would have been a good cult leader.
I think so.
Yeah, a lot of comics would be. They've got charisma. You have to have the combination of like psychopathy, charisma, and you like to get laid a lot. That's about it.
Yeah, but you got to do some nasty shit too.
Like what?
You got to hurt people. You're taking all their money.
Yeah, that's where the psychopathy comes in.
I'm just saying, I don't have that in
me.
You don't have that in you.
It's I'm encumbered by guilt.
Yeah,
that's great. Who says you're supposed to be good? Why? For what? I understand why people believe in heaven, because the people who are like built a certain way are going like, there better be something for this because this is a drag, dude. You know what it is? It's such a drag to like see a woman on the street with a hurt ankle and go like, I want to help. What kind of drag is that? Yeah. I got to be somewhere. What if I got Yankee tickets? The psychopath is going, I got Yankee tickets. Yeah. And he's going, oh, thank God there's a woman who's hurting because that makes me laugh. So thank you for the entertainment on the way. I hope you fall further and hurt your face and die because I feel nothing. That would probably be awesome to feel nothing.
You would get ahead.
Dude, you'd never be heartbroken. Now, the downside is you don't get to evolve. You don't get to write poetry from your pain. All the stuff that people don't care about anymore. That's how I know we're in such a bad place as a society because it is a very cold, psychopathic, everything is a version of reality. It's a marketer's playground. It's not true. It's like we're looking at a shellac burger on a McDonald's commercial. You know, and that's why you got to go see people live because that's the only truth there is anymore because everyone has figured out how to be an ad agency. So you have to go see something live now. I think go to a play, go see a comedian, go to a live art show, go to a live sex show. I mean, how much porn are we going to watch? At this point, I want to see it live.
Really?
And put some art into it. Yeah, that would be cool. That's a genre. Live is going to become, I'm predicting live is going to become what TV used to be. So there's going to be like, and you know who was ahead of their time on that is the South Park guys. How that just became such a hit, that play, that musical.
Yeah.
That'll start happening with all genres, porn, because it's, whatever increases in quantity, decreases in quality. We're at the point we've jumped the shark on content. Like, it's just not exciting. Everyone's doing the same thing over and over again, interviewing the same people. It's not special. You see me on a screen, I was on Fox News. Used to be if I was on Fox News, people would go crazy. And I'm just bringing up Fox News because that was the last thing I did on television. Of course, that for my in-laws, that was a big deal.
You were a hero.
Like I said, it was like being from Boston and playing on the Red Sox. If your in-laws are from Long Island. But it's not a big deal. Yeah. If you're under 60 years old, it's like, I saw him on my phone. It's the same. It's not precious. So the thing that will become precious again is live stuff. And it won't just be plays and comedy. I think you'll see like live sex shows become like, because they'll add some art into it. It'll be cool. They'll do something new.
Like a theater show with sex?
Theatric sex and like something new.
Like Cirque du Soleil, but
yeah, and maybe like a little virtual reality in there like multimedia. Something new we can't really... we can't get motivated to create because we're too old. That's what happens when you get too old, you just go, it's a whole thing. It's a
whole thing.
It's a whole. And then...
let's try to imagine explaining that to your wife.
You can't,
Here's my big idea, live sex show.
I got a role. I auditioned and I made it. I'm going to be fucking this donkey. I'm going to be injected with Cialis every show to bang a donkey while I do... a techno dance. Ding, 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 ding. Or I do a yoga om. Yeah, it's new wave. It's post-digital. We're in the post-digital age. It'll be called the post-digital age because everything will be live. It's like, we don't trust live. The way they used to say don't trust parents, it's like, don't trust the internet. That generation's coming.
Right.
Don't trust the internet. Andrew Tate's the false. Tucker's the false. Elon Musk is the devil. Don't trust anyone on the internet. Only trust people in person. And then they'll hold each other. We're like, you're real. There'll be a real movement. Real. He's real. Like the hippie movement. But like, he's real. Touch yourself. Cut yourself. Drink my blood. Drink my blood. They'll start getting weird. Tattoo each other's faces. It'll be like the 60s, but hell.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what humans do. They rebel against the last thing always. And they always create new things, which are combinations of old things. Because there's only a couple of chords here, but there's an infinite amount of possible combinations, which is always fascinating to me. There's only a finite amount of chords, notes, but there's an infinite possibility of combinations. So anything new is really a version of something else combined or whatever, just with a new twist. So that's what we're going to see. Just like Twitter has now turned into something new. It's X. Twitter was acquired by X Corp. What does that mean? That's his company.
Yeah, that's a holding company.
So that's his LLC.
I think
he's not that cool. I got an LLC too, YP Productions.
Hey.
Make the check out to YP Productions. It's so funny, the whole corporate fucking tax thing.
Yeah.
I'm one person, YP Productions. It's like, yeah, I got Then you get all these different tax breaks or whatever because you're like making business. All right, I could protect, I could sexually like assault a dog, right? And then I get arrested and be like, I get sued. I'm sorry. I'm like, hey, you got to sue YP Productions.
Right.
I'm not. It's not me. It's the corporation raped the dog, not me. Because that's what the whole point of a corporation is. Like you could steal and be like, you're suing them. Who's them? That's not that. It's this. You're suing that sign. I just happen to work there. I paid myself a salary. I just work here. I just work at the company that I am.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
It's all these loopholes. And that's the other funny part is like, dude, people with money and accounts, it's just everyone's just always trying to get out of paying taxes. It would be nice if like a lot of the taxes people enthusiastically paid because they wanted it. That's why it's funny. Like the more local it is, the more enthusiastic you pay your taxes. Like if you live in like a good school district and you know it, you can see exactly what you're getting. That's why taxes don't really bother you, right? If you know what you're getting. I mean, everyone complains about everything, especially if you live on Long Island. You're the victim of all. But, or in certain places, you're just a perpetual victim. But if you live in a place and you're like, I'm paying this property tax, I'm getting this school district, this pays for the school, pays for my garbage. You can see what it pays for, the police, all that shit. And then you're like, I'm with that. You kind of, I guess it gets complicated when it gets big,
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a way to simplify that someday.
Well, think of how much you're paying.
Yeah.
You're paying like almost half your earnings to taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. They got
a lot of money.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
How much do police get paid?
Police don't get paid a lot.
Yeah. Where's the money going?
Yeah. And I don't know if we can pay police. It's a weird thing because can you imagine there was like a cop making $300,000? He's not going to chase anybody. He's like, whoa. I got a boat, dog. You want your cops to be a little miserable.
I got a reservation.
Yeah, no. I'm going to Nobu later, and my life is too good for this shit. Yeah. So I get that part too. The people who should get paid more are like the people who make society run, right? Which is like therapists, trauma specialists, RNs, doctors, nurses, social workers. The world just would not. I have had so much interaction with these people because of my personal family history and personal history, in so many different genre. What do you call it? So many different facets of service, from social workers to nurses. Old folks' homes, dementia, special needs, trauma. Psychiatrists, therapists, teachers, those people, just society would not, those are the people who act with some empathy, like they do things like, and they make you feel like they try to get you better. Regardless of what they're getting paid, they're trying to get you better. Without those people, dog walkers, I mean, you got to get dinner plans once in a while. You got to go to work. Jamaican nannies. What would we do without Jamaican nannies in the coastal cities? Huh? My liberal fan base? What would you do without your kid learning Wagwan? Let me get a Jamaican beef patty. Okay, Cheryl. Hey, this is my daughter, Cynthia. What you doing, brethren? What you say, brethren? Booyaka, booyaka, booyaka. I'm from the downtown San Francisco area. I go to private school. My name is Cynthia Thompson. My family is from Wisconsin and South Carolina. Booyaka, 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 booyaka. What would we do without those Jamaican nannies? Allowing it so both their parents could work. What would we do without Chet Hanks, who speaks fluent patois? How did that happen? You're Tom Hanks' son. You're Rita Wilson's son. Tom Hanks not only is a famous actor, but him and Rita Wilson have a production company. Everything's on pause now. But they are so rich and powerful. Rita Hanks and Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. And their son came out going, Shabaranks, booyaka, booyaka. But I bet you that's because he's the most normal one of the family. I bet you he's the one breaking intergenerational trauma, and he's just misunderstood, and Tom Hanks and Rita just don't understand. And the fact that he likes drugs. Drugs are fun for a couple of days. And it's a deal with the devil. It's really a Faustian bargain, isn't it? Like, hey, you want to have a great time tonight? Well, then your week belongs to me. It's kind of a Faustian bargain. Playtone, that's their production company.
Yeah, I was trying to.
So
see
Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks, their production company is called Playtone. Playtone. And they produce big time movies. I think they produced My Big Fat Greek Wedding. This connection is not private, Jess. Mitch McConnell, while you look that up, did you see him freeze like the clown from the It movie?
I did not know.
Yeah, he. I think he's dead. I think like he's. Now Mitch McConnell's in deep trouble. Apparently, he fell at the airport.
Uh-oh.
And then they let him get up there, and he gave the speech, and he just paused. He stopped speaking because his brain just died. I think he flatlined for a couple seconds. He's fucking 82 years old. Why do we keep fucking rolling these 80 to 90-year-old fucking politicians out? People retire at like 65. Am I right? Like the medium age for retirement is what, 65? Okay, get it. People are living longer now. So what, 72? All right. But what the fuck is an 84-year-old guy doing a very important job like being a House, what is he? Is he House Minority Leader or Majority Leader?
Majority. No,
yeah, I mean, that's
Senate Majority.
Senate Majority Leader. That is what, the third most important job in the fucking three branches of government? Am I wrong? They're more important than the vice president, no? In a lot of ways, it's the second most.
They do a lot of negotiating for bills and laws of the land, of course.
Yeah, I guess one of three. With the Supreme Court, they're all very important, the president. But the Senate Majority Leader is almost as powerful as the president. A lot of people don't understand that. In a lot of ways, he is as powerful as the president. That's because of the checks and balance system. They fucking legislate, like any laws or any money, they fucking block it. They make it happen. And this guy's 84.
Did you see this chick?
Dianne Feinstein. How old is this broad? She's 90. How old was the chick whose husband was gay and had a home invasion? Misinformation. Flag for misinformation. Flag for misinformation.
The one with the natties.
Yeah, what was her name? It's funny how she retired and like she's just out of sight, out of mind.
Pelosi.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
She was like 92, right? She's like 88,
No,
87?
Yeah, she was, in her 80s.
In her 80s.
Yeah.
Who's still working in their 80s?
Feinstein. Feinstein is 90.
She's 90. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was what? She was my mother's age, so she died like 89, 90, 91. It's like, who's still working at 90? Who can still work?
The funny thing about this chick is she's running again. Who runs again at 90?
Running at 90, like, why is this allowed in politics? There's a minimum age to vote. Shouldn't there be like a maximum age to, and listen, these people don't care. They're dying soon. So it's like, I want a guy from 45 to 75. Here it is. A lot of people, if you haven't seen it, go watch Mitch McConnell. This is the Senate Majority Leader.
Been good bipartisan cooperation.
Watch.
And a string of
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
His fellow senators, including John Barrasso, a medical doctor from Wyoming,
Do you want to say anything else to the press?
eventually helping the 81-year-old McConnell away from the podium.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he's a healthy 81 either. My dad, when he was 81, looked a lot better than that. So, yeah, and then supposedly fell at the airport before that. So it's like, can we have a sweet little retirement party for this guy up on Capitol Hill, please? I'd like to go into one of those buildings and get a piece of cake, a slice of cake, and say, thank you for your service. Go enjoy applesauce, my guy. It's applesauce. The applesauce years have been upon you. This is nuts. Our president is he 80? He's 80. He had brain surgery at some point.
Right.
And the guy's developing dementia. It's not even his fault. He's developing dementia because he doesn't want to remember what his son is doing. It's a great way to deal with that, is to just go like, did you hear what Hunter Biden did? I don't know where I am. I don't remember. I didn't hear about it. Did you see those videos they showed of your son fucking whores?
Nope.
Did you hear about the stripper who impregnated your granddaughter? I didn't know I had a granddaughter. Please make the memories stop. Please make the memories stop. I knew something was going on with Hunter Biden because I was at my in-laws' house and they Fox News is playing on the background like Muzak in an elevator. When you go to my in-laws' house, you feel like you're in a sushi restaurant in Hollywood. There's just background techno music going. In a Long Island household, there's just background Fox News banter. It soothes everybody. Nobody's even watching it. They're just talking in the background. Every TV's on, and it's just Fox News. And once in a while, you hear one of your parents, you people who are from Long Island can probably relate to this. At one point, you'll hear one of your parents go, "I'd like to tie the both of them up to a tree and shoot them with a BB gun." I mean, he's senile. And this one here, and what they do over here, it's all, Hillary Clinton. And I'd like to tie them all to a tree and shoot them in the head with a BB gun. Okay, what are we ordering for dinner, Chinese or Italian? That's what happens in Suffolk and NASA. So I knew something was going on with Hunter Biden because I spent the week at my in-laws' house, and Fox News has, you know how Shark Week takes over that channel?
Yeah.
Hunter Biden has taken over Fox News. They should just give him the Twitter and let him tweet from Fox's account. So he did something, right? At this point, it's like, what can you do? And it's supposedly, depending on what side of the internet you reside on, either, oh my God, the right is obsessed with Hunter Biden. That's the one side of the internet. Like, oh my God, they love looking at people's private nudie photos. It leads to nothing. This is much to do about nothing. Not to quote Shakespeare, but this is much ado about nothing. He did nothing except smoke a little crack and fuck some girls on his internet, and Republicans are obsessed with the photos. And then you go to the other side of the internet, and they're like, crime family, Biden crime family, Joe Biden is John Gotti, Hunter Biden is John Gotti Jr., they're in bed with Zelensky. It's a crime family. They're developing bioweapons in Ukraine. The list just goes on of the possibilities of what they're doing. I don't know what's true or not. What I do know is that this kid is a bona fide crackhead. He's a crackhead. I do know that he got a job in Ukraine because a gas company wanted to curry favor with his pops. Mm-hmm. I do know there was a phone call where he said there's a 10% is getting kicked back to the big guy. Could have been his pops. But, the thing is, Republicans got to understand that is probably easy to trace, no? Unless they did it through some back channels or funnels or just one line from a fucking moron like this who dropped his computer off at a staunch Republicans boutique computer repair shop when he's the fucking son of the vice president. That's how careless and stupid he is. He's so careless and stupid, he got a stripper pregnant in some fucking city, and he's got a granddaughter, and he's trying to protect his dad. He goes, please just don't let her have my last name. He's going to court to fight so his daughter doesn't have his last name because he's a dirtbag, crackhead, moralist fuck who banged his brother's goddamn widow because he's a crackhead. He's a self-absorbed, narcissistic, crackhead piece of shit. So I just don't know if he is so sly that he would only mention it once throughout his whole computer and say, we got to kick back this to the big guy. Yeah. An idiot like this would have said 100 times, my father Joe needs his $40,000 kickback, $400,000 kick. It wouldn't be one sentence that referred to the big guy if it was true. Now, of course, I'm right, probably. But keep believing what you're going to believe because it gives you purpose. I don't want to stop it. And I also am not pro-Joe Biden. I also don't want to be called a libtard. I'm just using what you call common sense that I learned on the streets of fucking Brooklyn, New York, and New York City, which is like, what's the motivations? What's the person's psychology? What's the personality involved? What's the evidence here? I mean, we're talking about one sentence that says some money to the big guy. Now, you think this fucking careless moron, if there was a kickback to Joe Biden, wouldn't have said it 100 million times? He probably would have. Not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying I'm probably right. And it's probably not Joe Biden. I don't think Joe Biden's that stupid to take a kick. First of all, he doesn't need it. He's fucking loaded. He does whatever. He's a politician.
That's the question. How?
How? It's not going to be through his crackhead son. Unless he had a weakness for his son.
No, how is Joe Biden loaded?
Yeah, because he's corrupt in some way. They all are.
He's been in public office for 50 years.
You can say the same thing about Nancy Pelosi. You can say it about all of them. They're all rich. And the reason why they're rich is because they insider trade. I mean, they all insider trade. Can you imagine that people in the legislative branch and executive branch who regulate these companies and who hold their feet under the fire and send them to the FCC and break up monopolies and corporations and get lobbied by these corporations for certain laws to make it so they could do business, that these people can actually buy and sell stock in fucking public companies. How wild is that? They're all insider trading. What's the deal with that? It's not as big of a problem as the soap dish being on the side. But why? But why are members of Congress allowed to fucking trade stock? What's the deal with that? Jerry Seinfeld could do children's parties. I don't ever want to be a comedian who could potentially do a children's party.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. No worries.
I don't think so.
But look, if you're somebody who can do children's parties in old folks' homes, God bless you. But I can't see how you're having a good time. I just can't. It's not for me. But, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to fucking wear an Iceman shirt that I got at H&M. I got great shirts for $14. I don't know what kind of slave labor they're doing, but nobody's asking questions. Those fucking Swedes with H&M and IKEA, I don't know what kind of slave labor is going on somewhere else. That's that perfect thing. Oh, we're Swedish, we're social democrats. We care about health care. And all the people on the streets are homeless. We give them programs. And they can pay, and we give some methadone clinics, and the woman can take a 40-year matriarchal, egalitarian maternal leave, and sometimes the father also has to watch the baby because we from Sweden. Yeah, we have such a nice people. And then you go, Sweden is the ideal place. And then you go, wait a second. Do they have slaves? How do they sell me a whole fucking living room for $14.99? That doesn't add up if you talk about basic economics. They got international shipping costs, they got tariffs, they got labor costs, they have material costs. How the fuck is my shirt at H&M that's made of cotton $4.99? How the fuck is that possible? Is it because they're pulling the old fucking bait and switch? I'm such a good person. And then behind, are they pulling the old Bill Cosby on us? Possibly. What slaves are making this? There's got to be some country that we don't know about where the H&M factories and the IKEA factories are paying people very little. All right? Because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. I'm no mathematician, but right? Like, especially during supply chain problems, right? You tell me right now you can't get caulk for your bathroom for less than like $300, but you can still walk into an H&M and get a 12-pack of socks for $3.99? Like it's a fucking Chinese dollar store in Brooklyn?
Guess where?
As seen in the present graph, H&M uses China. Hurrah! Bangladesh, and Turkey, are the top 3 locations for H&M sources its products. It's also true in Sweden, where the retailer is headquartered, there are a total of 21 suppliers and factories manufacturing H&M clothing. So they got some factories over there. This is the PR. This can't be true. I believe it's probably in Bangladesh. They probably are working for clean water in order for me to get a fucking Iceman shirt for $12.99, or I think I paid $7 for it. H&M is the best, and you get quality stuff too. I had a TV show with a very famous Brazilian model who told me he got his jeans from H&M, and he's a fashion model. He's like, I get them from H&M. They're cheap. They're good.
Smart.
Yeah. He's
It's
like, and they look
stupid
great.
To pay $400 for jeans.
Of course it is. Of course it is. I mean,
Obviously.
I mean, you're not wearing appropriate clothes for this. I don't even know what to make of what's going on, but you're wearing some type of comfort sandal, some waterproof, like jelly comfort sandal. You look like a grown-up French child on the beach.
I was waiting for you to notice.
I can't eat. I can't eat with those things on.
Dude.
And then you got a fucking wife beater, and you got molester glasses on.
It's 100 degrees out.
It is. What are those sandals besides gross?
They are unbearably ugly. They are so hideous.
I'm going to take a picture and throw them up in the ground.
They're so ugly. But let me tell you something, dude. If they were a public company, I'd buy stock. They're called UFOs, and they're recovery sandals. And
They're recovery sandals.
They're recovery because, my knee hurts.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. They should be marketed as hey ladies, have you ever been interested in lesbian experiences? Buy your boyfriend a pair of these and let him walk around the house, and you'll be questioning your sexuality.
They are unforgivably ugly.
I mean, dogs. They're recovery sandals. They're on the side. They say, "Do not wear outside the hospital."
I would buy.
Do not wear off campus, outside of the facilities. These are not for wear. They're called oofs.
UFOs. I would buy stock in the company if I could.
Yeah. I don't think you'd make a lot of money buying that.
No, you wouldn't.
The only people who are wearing that, to be honest with you, who are 90-year-old people, people who just had podiatry surgery, and you.
No, dude, no.
I think you're the only non-post podiatry surgery person wearing an UFA.
Everyone I bring these up to, they're like, "Oh, I love UFOs."
All right.
The slides aren't that bad. These happen.
Yeah, I'd throw the slides. Do they say I love UFAs? I wear them around the house. Did they finish? Yeah. They didn't say I love UFAs. I wear them to work.
These are my dog walking shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I wear slides too all the time. I have 10 pairs of slides all over my house because I do not like my feet touching the floor.
Yeah.
I need padding on my foot,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't do this because I don't want my wife to leave me. So Elon Musk is now Hollywood Hogan. We'll see what happens with X on the dark web. We wish Mitch McConnell well. We think they should change the law for sure that you got to leave office by the time you're 72 max. Nobody should be able. Would you trust a doctor going in to an 87-year-old doctor or an 85 or an 82-year-old doctor? Would you trust him to do surgery on you? I mean, his hand is like, no, I wouldn't trust him to even make my pizza. Nothing. So it's really hot. People are saying it hasn't been this hot for 120,000 years. Global warming is upon us. You can't even bring it up without people really getting upset. I don't know anything about global warming. I'm not a specialist, but the rent is too damn hot.
The what? The rent?
Remember the rent is too damn high? I'm just
yeah.
saying the rent is too damn hot. It is fucking hot. There's heat waves all over. I think it was like 123 degrees in Greece one day. 123. Something's up. I don't know. Dangerous heat wave will scorch New York City with hottest July in 3 years. Okay, it's only 3 years.
3 years. That's
Who
nothing.
cares? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, okay, scientists always have an explanation about how this creates crazy weather patterns. It's one of those things I don't understand. I really don't understand why you'd lie about it, and I don't understand why you'd be outraged about it. It's one of those things, it's like the flat earth to me. I don't understand. I don't understand why anyone... Elon Musk said it once. Elon Musk, he said it once. He goes, "Hey, listen, this is when he was Hulk Hogan. This is before Hollywood.
Right.
This is before he used eyeshadow to paint on his beard. when he was Hollywood Hogan,
Right.
I mean, when he was Hulk Hogan,
He was telling kids to take their vitamins.
he was going to take your vitamins, brother. Be good to the environment. Be good to the environment. Be good to the environment. Do what you have to. My name's Elon Musk. You ever see him answer a question when he takes that pause and he thinks for like 10 seconds? He goes, I don't care. It's the thing is I don't care. That's when he was saying, he was going, look, we're going to run out of oil anyway. So like, why would you not be into alternative sources? The oil's running out. When oil gets slow, why would you keep supporting Saudi Arabia and OPEC and all this shit, even if we had oil's running out? It's also probably not a good thing to remove that from the ground. So it's got to be shuffling shit. It's like, it's disturbing something. Fracking's probably not good for the environment. There's like, you don't want to completely rape things and get it out of balance, right? That's how species go extinct. They overhunt, whatever. You want to live in some sort of balance, but most importantly, it's going to run out. It's a finite resource. So it's like, why wouldn't you be trying to fund and use alternative sources? Because of money, because people are still making money on it. And you'd be, people are into new sources because of money. Yeah, they're into old sources because of money too. So what's the difference? What are you, a commie? I love that people are money motivated. Do you think anyone would come up with magic pills that, I have a relative who's like a doctor. Now he's like a top doctor. He's got a fucking mansion. He's done well, but he's motivated for that shit. And as a byproduct of that, he creates good shit. They come up with good shit because competition and selfishness makes you come up with shit that helps others. So it's like you're going, this whole global warming thing is just for money. You're going like, well, I think the other shit's for money too. What is oil not for money? It's all for fucking money. And the only difference is oil or alternative. That's basically global warming. They're saying we got to stop carbon emissions. That's it. And by that, it means alternative. So why do people care? So, like, why are people so, why are there, why is global warming? It's like the flat earth thing. It's like, of all the conspiracies, give me Marilyn Monroe had a dick. Give me Joan of Arc was, give me something good, dog. Don't give me flat earth. If you're going to be outraged, I want to be outraged because John Stamos is drinking baby blood in Tom Hanks's basement with Jeffrey Epstein and Hillary Clinton's husband. I want that. I don't want, hey man, the earth is flat. I don't want, hey man, global warming's a hoax. Who gives a fuck? Let's say it is a hoax. Who gives a fuck? Elon Musk's point still holds, right? Even if it is a fucking hoax, we're gonna run out of fucking oil. So might as well develop new shit. Conspiracy, climate change lockdowns are coming. Unknown act, what is this from? I always got to check the source.
CBS News.
CBS News. So what are they saying?
These are the different climate conspiracies that are floating around.
Oh, so they're saying they're going to be a lockdown.
Right.
Oh, man. Does anyone have a full-time job anymore? Cryptocurrency is carbon neutral and regulating it as an authoritarian takeover attempt. Yeah, sure. No, it wasn't a Ponzi scheme that made Gary Vee very rich. It wasn't a Ponzi scheme that made Logan Paul very rich by using his marketing platform to inflate the value of it when it was nothing. It's a scam. It's a scam that Logan Paul happened to become very rich off of, and so did Kim Kardashian. And she's being punished because the global elitists, with all their money, because Kim has no money, it's just the global elitists want to shut her up because she was bringing us into the future where the government can't track. What the fuck are we talking about? Everything has become a very fun high school cafeteria. I will give it that. But you give a little thought to any of this, you're going, why? That's what it's that one line from Elon Musk that I always remember where he goes like, even if you don't believe in climate change, like we will run out of oil. So like, why don't we invest in these alternative sources? And, even if you don't believe it, like maybe the scientists are wrong, but like they say that, right? Like it'll be good for the planet, but also you can't argue the point. We're going to run out of oil. Right? Like that's a fact. There's no eternal, it's not like cum. You can't just fucking pump it at the station and then wait and it regenerates itself. By the way, if you could fuel a car with cum, if someone could come up with that, we can hook up a bunch of teenage dudes to Matrix-like suctions.
Oh, yeah.
And pay them and perpetually, dude, we could have a whole fucking Mexican cum farm.
I would have made it to the moon when I was 17.
Me too. I could have fueled my trip to the moon. I come up with a lot of good ideas.
Yeah, that's a good one.
People listen to this, and I know it's like, it's just like, I know there's some people like, when I went off on RFK, I know there's some people who get really angry because they're so married to RFK. They love RFK. I even said I think he's the best candidate. I still do that. But they don't like that part because I'm making fun of him. Even if you're making fun of him, because people, it's the fascist tendency humans have to personality worship. It's in us. It's like a loophole in our circuitry. Like we're like, who's my God? You are. It's just something we do, right? So even though I said I think he's the best candidate, which should not make people upset, people get upset. So I'm making fun of him. But then there's also a lot of people going like, thanks for letting me know that part. It was funny. And also like it's kind of made some good points, Yanni, about, how people are wired, He's obviously likes a rush. The kid likes a little rush. That's why he cheated on his wife so much until she hanged herself. Well, she blamed it on him. She said, his philandering. In his diary, he called it his demon, his lust demon. He's a Catholic. I love those Catholics. They just whip themselves. He was fucking everybody behind her back. He's got a family. He wasn't the most honest guy. Am I going to judge that? No. I'm not going to judge that. But he also, he did get arrested for drugs, and he also did do heroin. So I'm just saying, heroin's not trying weed in college. That's going all the way, dog. That means you have some sort of sadness or weakness or predisposition in you that makes you very, very easily corruptible. It makes you very, I just don't feel comfortable you sitting there with Putin and Putin going, go to the bathroom, and it is a surprise for you. Even if you don't want it, he just injects you and you get that taste back and you go dude, I'll give you Ukraine. Fuck Ukraine, dog. Take San Diego. Just give me some more of that fucking smack. There's just something in there. I wouldn't let any of my no matter, I have some smart former drug addict friends. I would not leave my kids with any of them, right? Because they're drug addicts. So at some point they just might have a craving and sell my kid. They might go, let's just sell the kid. I'm watching them babysit. I'm just going to sell the kid because that's the type of shit drug dealers do. They don't think about consequences. They steal their mom's shit. It's they're weak in some way. And I have all the respect for addicts. I think they're the most courageous people. But, we got to have some standards for fucking leader of the free world. We're not talking about coming back in MLB and winning most valuable player. Remember that guy? He was a fucking drug addict and he came back and he won MVP. He was on the Angels or something like that. You generally know who I'm talking about. He was a lefty, beast. He came back. He had drug problems. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about President of the United States. Anyway. My point is, I think there's a lot of people who listen to us who enjoy the comedy and also like that I go after some sacred cows when they become sacred cows. Sometimes I do it because they're sacred cows and I don't even know if I believe it. Because that's my job. It's my job. I'm not going to sit there and just call myself a commie or a libertarian. I'm basically just calling myself a corporation. I'm just tricking you. Those people are using you. Because listen, if you're a libertarian or a commie, or a social democrat, or whatever, and you start the podcast by going, I'm this, you're already going, I just want this. You're going I'm carving this out, and then the people who hear that, who are going I like this guy already. I'm not into that fucking low chakra shit. I'm not into low chakras. You want to hear sacred cows? You want to hear someone with reckless abandon go after shit? It's me, baby. I got friends, and I know they got limits. I have no limits. I will go after me. I'll go after you. I'll go after everyone. I'm Batman. I have some friends, and they're very edgy, and you people talk about them, and sometimes you'll see how premeditated and just thoughtful they are about what they say. But I know how to build my brand. I know my brand. Some of them act like they're really, really speaking the truth. They're really giving it to someone or really being real. But it's premeditated. They're like, oh, I'm on this certain thing. This will be a big hoopla. This will be a big gossipy thing. And they premeditated. They go, let me be real now. And people lap it up. Like fucking milk. Like a puppuccino at Starbucks. They just lap it up because it's entertainment. I don't do only entertainment. I'm not only an entertainer. I can't change that. I'm an arrogant artist. Because that's essentially what I'm saying, right? I'm not an entertainer. I'm Picasso. No, I think I'm more, I give them credit because, they actually run it by an editor first and go, hey, we're trying to entertain people. I go, hey, let me just vomit this out and see what happens. My point being, just take a second to think about some of these dumb things that divide us and ask yourself, why the fuck do you care? And how does it make a difference one way or the other? My point being, I could, again, in my mind, go climate change is a complete hoax. Fine, let's say it is. I'd be mad that they're doing that and lying to us like they have been with UFOs. But also I'm going Elon Musk is right. We're going to run out of oil. So who gives a fuck? Let them invest in alternative. It'll create a lot of jobs. Green. Oh, green's a sham. Who gives a fuck? We're running out of oil. This is about oil. That's all it is. The end of carbon emissions. Carbon emissions are from oil. Burning fucking oil. Right? Did I miss something? You don't have to agree, but did I miss something? That's all it is, right? Like carbon emissions are from burning oil.
Yeah. Gas. Yeah, all that stuff.
All that shit. Natural gas, oil, fucking oil. Yeah. It's a big deal, to do about global warming. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio is probably going to make how impersonal and robotic are his social media accounts? It's so funny.
Oh, I don't follow
It's just like a fucking, an environment video comes up.
Once a month he
with a
posts.
voiceover. Yeah, you could tell he's like doing it while some model's blowing him on a fucking private jet. And he's going like, carbon emissions are at 69. Whoop, whoop.
yeah.
And that's why people hate it. I think some of it is spite for the elites that kind of push it while they're in jets and, living in $20 million homes, heated by oil.
Well, let's just put it this way. Trust in institutions isn't at an all-time high. So when an institution tells you that you have to start doing stuff.
Trust in institutions is at an all-time low, and sort of trust in or admiration for stars, like patience and admiration for stars. Whereas before, like there was a mystique to like a Matt Damon, or because all you saw was this, you didn't hear about how he bangs all these young people, or how Matt Damon's a stretched out dwarf, or how Ben Affleck's a fucking alcoholic who blamed his drinking on his ex-wife. These things there was such a distance. They all had publicists. All the journalists were cucks and they wouldn't say anything. And this era, like with social media accounts, you get to see Madonna going like, before Britney Spears' bipolarity was hid. Kanye West, there were no cameras on when he was going, Hitler was good. I'm Napoleon. You just heard it in some music and you go, this guy's wild. But you didn't hear him in the restaurant go, serve me. I mean, he's a bipolar kid.
Yeah.
He's having a manic episode. He has a mental illness. And you didn't see any of that. So it was a mystique. Now normal people are going like, you're full of shit because you're bipolar. You're fucking, you dump a girl once she turns 24 and fly in private jets. Adam McKay, you made a fucking movie about global warming. What is heating your house? And how big is it? And are there security walls? You're full of shit, guy. Because people know now. You can Google Maps people's houses and see what kind of full of shit humans they are. So that's also at a hero worship of stars is at an all-time low, I think. Like people didn't know how much of an asshole imagine Michael Jordan. During social media, people would have known, there would have been a leak about what kind of a tyrant he was. It's a crazy thing to think, like, is that good or bad? I don't know. Would that have affected him? Would that have affected the team? Would that have affected trades? Like a lot of the reason why his teammates fell into line is because like they were helpless. It was like Jordan rules. Like the whole organization bent to his will. But in this day, can you imagine Horace Grant going like, he hurt my feelings? Steve Kerr going, he punched me. And then the media's going, Michael Jordan's a bully. Michael Jordan hates trans people. He said this. And then you're like, everyone's going to know. It's kind of better that we didn't know he was a dick until this wonderful documentary came out. And you go, wow, what a fucking psychopath. There's some things you shouldn't know. I don't know what's better, total transparency or shrouded in secrecy. But they both have their pros, is my point. They both do have their pros. They really do. And it seems like UFOs, I know you're a big skeptic. It's getting wild out there now. Science, I mean, it's just, we have like 3 full-blown whistleblowers testifying in front of Congress saying that these are secret programs that the Pentagon's been hiding from the people. They've been using slush funding and high levels of clearance to hide, and been threatening people who release stuff. And we've been trying to reverse engineer the technology in the arms race, and also one of the most unsettling parts about it was that some people were hurt by the UFOs. So they're not really as peaceful as we thought, according to this guy. So this is what's going on. This is what's happening. this guy, and then there's the pilot, the Navy pilot, who just goes, "Hey man, listen." He goes, "This was seen by 6 people. Our machines picked it up. I just want you, like, if you're someone who questions it, just go, like, I'm telling you the truth. Like, we don't know what it is. This is how it moved. I'm a Navy pilot. 6 other people saw the same thing I saw, and all our machines registered it. And it did this. It was aware of us. It went into the water, so it can maneuver into water. It can drop 80,000 feet in a second. It's shaped like I don't know what to fucking tell you, guy, but it's up there, and our radar picked it up, and it is what it is." So this is all happening. Now that we know that this is almost definitely true, or it feels that way, and, the former Canadian Prime Minister doesn't seem like a quack now. I remember I sent you those videos a long time ago. I'm like, yo, dog, this was the fucking he's the defense minister of Canada. He's not a quack. Like, he's got clearance. Could be, but, like, I don't think you get to that position to be a quack. Some people were calling him a quack, I guess. But, like, now you're going, like, the dude was just telling the truth.
We got a lot of quacks in high places here.
I guess. I mean, listen, it's still possible this is a quack, but it seems like the evidence is out there for all to see, unless they're just high levels of lying. But I don't, it seems like this is true, right? It just seems like this is true. And if from a helicopter picture, it makes sense, right? Because if the universe is this amount of old, the amount of galaxies, maybe it's like, it blows your mind to think that a civilization could easily be 50,000, not just 500 years ahead in technology, but a civilization far away could be 50,000 to 100,000 to 300,000 to 1,000,000 years ahead in technology. It's very conceivable that they're fucking taking a joyride in the Milky Way to come and jerk off to us and bounce, or figuring out how to colonize us like ants. Who the fuck knows? It's very conceivable that there's more than one. It's very conceivable that Jar Jar Binks is real. And we shouldn't have been annoyed by his character. It's very conceivable that George Lucas has top level clearance, saw the aliens, went into the Men in Black room with Will Smith, and decided to base those characters off of what he saw. It's very possible that Will Sylvance wants his peanuts in his mouth right now.
Where's my peanuts?
It's very conceivable that Will Smith has seen aliens with whoever the other guy was, Tom Jones. What was his name?
Tom Jones.
Was it Tom Jones?
Yeah, except there's a Lee in the middle.
Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Jones. He's the guy with the big schlong who used to bang Pamela Anderson.
Oh, that's Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee, Tommy Jones, Tommy Lee Jones. Same person, created by the government. They got no parents. Project Mickey Mouse. Conspiracies are fun, man. They're addictive. They're fun. There's nothing better to talk about at a party than conspiracy theories. They unify people just as much as sports and politics. If you hate your family and your family hates you, you can always fucking talk about Hunter Biden, get along. You can always talk about the Jets and get along. And you can always talk about intergalactic space mirages that they're using and saying are real because they're about to give us another virus or whatever, or that the world is flat or a triangle or that dicks are really vagina, whatever you want, you know? And of course, some of these conspiracies turn out to be true, but some of them are just like, I don't know about that one. But have fun with them. At the end of the day, just have fun. And I don't know what's going to go on with these UFOs. But apparently he's saying that they have bodies. They have recovered bodies with the craft. It was because these things crashed and the bodies died and they have dead bodies. I think they also maybe have they've had alive ones. One guy said there was one in Guantanamo Bay who was an Arab alien. No. He was in the Taliban. Turns out he's from another galaxy. And his name's Jar Jar Binks, and he's Arab. Jar Jar Binks is kind of like an Arab name. Jar Jar Binks. No, in Guantanamo Bay. You know? Who knows? Have you paid attention to any of this news?
This story doesn't move the needle at all for me.
Have you heard about it?
Well, I mean, I see the headlines. I just skip right over it.
Yeah. Because you're a guy, you need to see it. I mean, you need to wake up and see an alien blowing you.
Yeah.
And then even then, you're going to be like, I'm hallucinating.
Yeah.
You just don't want to believe.
No, I don't even really care. I don't know why. It's just
I think the funny thing is most people don't.
I don't care.
Because in 2020, they kind of basically told us, and people were like, "Oh yeah, okay, when can I not wear my mask?" Like people were like, "What? So like, when is Taylor Swift going?" I'm fucking, and it's funny because everyone thought, like, I think the powers probably thought people would really freak out and like, no, and I think also people thought that this would change stuff, but it doesn't. It's so funny to know that we're trying to just reverse engineer the technology to kill.
Yeah.
We're going like, yo, we need to figure this out before the Russians do, because if they get this, we're not going, whoa, wait a second
The
here.
Russians.
Yeah, huh?
The Russians. The Chinese.
Or the Chinese. Yeah, same shit. We're not going, whoa, maybe there's a bigger picture. Maybe we should ask these guys how they made it 50,000 years, because right now we're on the brink of nuclear war again. So like, how do they get along, dog? My first question would be like, yeah, look, all right, maybe you're here on a violent mission or whatever. Maybe you want to fucking colonize this, whatever, dog. That's fine. We'll deal with that when it happens. You know, obviously you don't have the capabilities to send the whole army to get whatever it is. If you could go invisible and you're still here and that's fine, all that shit. I got one question for you, dog. How the fuck did y'all get along? Like, what's the secret? Like, do we got to go pygmy chimp? Like, should we all go bi? Should we turn trans? Like, do we all become Jehovah's Witnesses? Like, what's the deal? Do we unite through a common enemy? Like, do we got to do a purge once a year and kill someone and we all fucking, like, do we got to sacrifice people off the temple? Because that's been what's eluded humanity since the beginning. And you can see every civilization try to do something to rectify it, right? Like the Greeks used to, blow kids. They came up with philosophy. They would unite against the Persians. They had a common enemy. The Incas used to throw fucking people off of the temples and eat their hearts and shit. And it would unify people. Other societies hang people. Things that unify. Then you got the gladiator games. Let's watch some fucking slaves die. It unifies everybody. It's like a purge. It's like, okay, this will unify us. We have a common enemy. Like, maybe the alien won't tell us because it'll be like, the alien would just say, hey, dog, we're your enemy. And be like, and then maybe that'll unify us. Or maybe the alien could be a peacenik. Maybe he's a peacenik. Maybe he's an annoying, boring peacenik. He's like, hey, man. He's like, hey, man. Love is the answer, man. Love is the answer no matter what, man. Don't operate on lower chakras, man. And we're just going like, dude, you're fucking, I'd rather shoot you. I'd rather still keep killing. I'd rather keep doing that because that's lame. So what I'm going to do is going to lie to the people and tell them that you were aggressive, and then that will unify us because we're shit. Our planet, we're just an aggressive species that likes to kill, fuck, and eat. And it is what it is. We like to connive, and we like to push the rock up the hill like Sisyphus, even though we're going to die because we're ego-driven garbage. So I'm just going to tell the people that you're here to kill us, and maybe that'll unify us, and we'll start treating you like Chinese. Maybe we'll start treating you like Viet Cong. Maybe we'll start treating you like illegals in Alabama. Maybe we'll start treating you like the colonizers in Africa. Or like the Protestants in Catholic Town, or the Catholics in Protestant Town, or the British in Ireland, or the Irish in England, or the Turks in Greece, and the Greeks and Turks. We're enemies. Nothing unites Greeks like the hates of Turks. Nothing unites Catholics more than the hate of Protestants and vice versa. Nothing unites the Japanese more than the hate of the Chinese. Nothing unites the Chinese more than the hate of Uyghur Muslims. You need an enemy. But like Michael Jackson tried to tell us, the secrets are in a little boy's anus. No, like he tried to tell us, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I'm the enemy. Yo. Hey. It's you. And you happen to be Chinese. We'll see you next time. Guys, we want to give a shout out to our small business sponsors. We're always sold out of this because we like to support small business. I really do. It gives everything character, and I hate all the big conglomerates. It's just boring. So if you like soda, get your soda from brooklyncannery.com. Use the promo code Yannis Pappas to get 15% off. Order a case. They're delicious. Root beer, cola amaretto, key lime jalapeno, ginger beer, low calorie, natural sweeteners, monk fruit stevia. You'll keep your feet. Exclusiveautoshipping.com. You buy your car. I was thinking about getting a used Tesla, and I was going to use exclusiveautoshipping.com because it was out of state. So it's something like that. If you're, if you're on fucking Carfax or whatever, you buy a car, hit up exclusiveautoshipping.com. They'll ship the car for you. Student military discount supply. And also if you're moving, they'll move your car for you. Exclusiveautoshipping.com. Jared Z, we love you. Chris Minetti, my guy, 215-750-3730 is his phone number because this is 1979. It's the only way to get in touch with him.
It's a landline.
Yeah, it's a Minetti Financial Services. He'll cash your checks. He's a check cashing conglomerate that has no office. I don't know the address. Just call him. He'll give you the deets. I don't know if I'm responsible for a couple people missing by giving this out because there could be people in the Philly, South Jersey area who called him and then met him and then they were never heard from again. I don't know. I don't know what Chris Minetti's doing, but he's telling me he's cashing checks and he pays $100 a month for me to say it. But I don't know if I could ever trust a guy with the name Chris Minetti. All I know is a name like Chris Minetti. If I come over for dinner, I'm going to hear the word agate more than 7 times and Democratic scum 14. For the free .art, music in Hawaii. If you like music and you're going to Hawaii, or if you like both places, check it out. Local artists by music, stuff like that. It's an organization for music people in Hawaii. For the free .art. My girl, Sam Gubera, sportshorsefarrier.com. This goes out to the segment of our listeners who have horses. You need the horse's hooves are hurting, and you're in the Nashville area. Do you travel, Sam? Will you get on a plane if someone offers you enough money? What if someone's in Connecticut and says, I'm just such a Yannis Pappas Hour fan. I want to hire Sam Gubera to come to Connecticut and and hoof around my farm. And when I get back, all the hoofs are fucking cleaned out. But for now, she's got 10 years of experience in the Nashville area, and the website is sporthorsefarrier.com, and you can call her at 864-200-9007. Manly Girly Studios, they will give you a 40% discount off of your studio recording in North Carolina. Guys, it would help if you told me where in North Carolina. It's a big state. You're not running for governor. You have a studio space somewhere in North Carolina. Let me know. So if you're starting a podcast, with your boys, your drinking buddies, and you need a place to record, hit up manlygirlystudios.com. Also, listen to their podcasts. They got a ton of great podcasts, Casa de Thinking, whatever, and a few other good ones. And they're comedy. So check out their new travel content where we show you how to travel around the world, whether in style or on a budget. I'll check that out. See, that's helpful. That is helpful. DisplayPros.net. These guys have booths and they set them up for you.
They print.
Right?
They print, yeah.
They
Materials.
print shit.
Yeah.
They print.
Mm-hmm.
They're printing. DisplayPros.net.
Trade show booths, retail displays, promo items.
Stuff like that. Promo code What's the Deal is for 10% off your first order, or tell them Yanni sent you. DisplayPros.net.
You've been reading this ad for months.
I just don't understand what they do. I always gave it to Jared. Matthew Albani. Ma Insurance Services in St. Petersburg, Florida. 813-260-0338. Give them a call. They will cover you. All right? They will cover you. They offer a wide range of, basically, they'll cover you for whatever you agree to. Whatever I can sell you on, brother. Your favorite restaurant, you get food poison, I got you covered, brother. As long as your check clears, you're covered. And if you call me and say, "Hey, I got into an accident," Ma, tell him I'm not home. Yeah, you gotta tell him I'm not home insurance from MaInsuranceServices.com in St. Petersburg, Florida. Ma Insurance Services. It's MA Insurance Services. So I'm not calling it Ma for any other reason except it's Ma Insurance. The number is 813-260-0338. Go talk to Matt Albani and tell him, get a policy from him. He'll give you a policy, okay? If you're in Jacksonville, if you're a proprietor of the Pink Lagoon Crockpit Flamingo, or if you're in Miami, Lake Irregales Lake, or if you're in fucking St. Petersburg. Maddie will take care of you. Ma!
That's it. Yep.